Hello everyone, welcome back to accountancy classes of Sri Mahavir International School. So as you know that in our last video we have completed question number 9th B as our chapter is going on, that is accounting equation. So today let's start with the next question and it will go about some further concept also. So after question 9th, just I am telling you here question number 13. You can check this question from your book. That what is there, Yogesh commenced business on 1st April 2017 with a capital of 5 lakh rupees and a loan of 1 lakh rupees borrowed from Citibank. Capital was of rupees 5 lakh and loan was of rupees 1 lakh, that is from Citibank, but it doesn't matter that from where you are taking the loan, just it is a bank loan, okay. On 31st March 2018, his assets were rupees 8 lakh. Calculate his closing capital and profits earned during the year. You have to calculate closing capital and profits. So just for this, I am making a draft of balance sheet. With the help of balance sheet, easily you can calculate your closing capital and profits. So here I am just preparing balance sheet. As I told you that what is the meaning of balance sheet? Balance sheet is the statement that will show all the liabilities and all the assets in a format. Okay. So balance sheet as on. Check, is there any date in the question? The date is 31st March 2018. 31st March 2018. It is the date. So just prepare a rough format of balance sheet. As you know that balance sheet includes liabilities and assets. So it will easily calculate your closing capital and profits. So write here first liability, amount, assets and amount. Okay. So what is the first item here? Capital of 5 lakh rupees. This capital is your opening capital because this is on 1st April 2017. It means this is opening capital. Loan of rupees 1 lakh. Loan is a kind of liability, that is outsider liability. 1 lakh rupees. Assets were 8 lakh rupees. Total assets. Assets are of rupees 8 lakh. In this 8 lakh, all the current assets, all the fixed assets, all are included here. Okay. So just calculate closing capital and profits. Total 8 lakh. And the same total will be on the liability side. As I told you that in a balance sheet, assets and liabilities will always be equal. Okay. Out of this 8 lakh, just minus this 1 lakh. So you will get a amount of rupees 7 lakh. This 7 lakh rupees is your capital. How? As we studied in accounting equation that assets are equal to liabilities plus capital. So liabilities is of rupees 1 lakh. So capital will be of rupees 7 lakh. So 7 lakh rupees will be your closing capital. Okay. 7 lakh rupees is your closing capital, 5 lakh rupees is opening capital. So the differential amount will be profit. So profit will be of rupees 2 lakh. Like this easily you can find. So as a summary we can write here closing capital equals to rupees 7 lakh and profits equals to rupees 2 lakh. These are your closing capitals and profits. So this was question number 13A. Now just see question number 13B point. What is there in B point? If in the above case the proprietor had introduced fresh capital of rupees 40,000 and had withdrawn 10,000 rupees for personal purpose, calculate his profit. What you have to do in the same question, just I am making correction here for B point. This was A, now just same point I am correcting here. Proprietor had introduced fresh capital of 40,000. So as you know that any additional capital or any withdrawn, that is done from opening capital. Okay. So here we will write add additional capital. Additional capital. What is the amount of additional capital? 40,000. So it means now your capital is 5,40,000 and 10,000 rupees is drawing. So drawing is deducted from opening capital. It means now your capital is 5,30,000. This 5,30,000 is opening capital, but you know that your closing capital is still 7 lakh rupees. It means the profit will be 1,70,000. Profit 1,70,000. So 530 plus 170, it is 7 lakh rupees. So here you can write 7 lakh. This was your question number 13. Very easy question. Okay. Easily you can match it. Assets are always equal to liabilities plus capital. Okay. Let's start with the next question. 14th. Give one example of each of the following transactions. What you have to do in this? Just you have to give example. This is not a numerical question. This is just like theory questions. What is there? Increase in an asset and a liability. Means you have to tell any transaction that will increase your asset, increase in an asset and a liability. And a liability. Just give one transaction here. Give only one transaction that will increase your asset also and that will increase your liability also. So which type of transactions are there that will increase your asset and liability? Asset. Suppose that you are purchasing an asset. You are purchasing an asset. It means this will increase your asset. Okay. In the same, you have to increase your liability also. So how it will increase? That you are purchasing asset on credit. Suppose that if you are purchasing any asset on credit, so that will increase your asset also and liability also. Liability, how it will increase your liability? That you have to pay the amount of asset in the future. So that is your liability. So the item, the transaction will be here, purchasing an asset on credit will increase asset also and liability also. This was first transaction. Second one, decrease in an asset and a liability. Here, decrease in an asset and a liability. You have to do any transaction here that will decrease your asset and decrease your liability also. So suppose that decrease in an asset and decrease in an liability, both should be decreased. Suppose that you are paying to your creditors. Suppose that you are paying to your creditors. So creditors are your liability. If you have paid to your creditors, it means that will decrease your liability. Okay. And you are paying, it means your cash will also decrease, and cash is your asset. Are you getting my point? That if you are paying to creditors, not only creditors, if you are paying to bank loan is also your liability. So if you are paying your bank loan, so that will also decrease your liability and asset. Because bank loan was your liability, so that is decreased, you have paid to them, and you are paying in the form of cash. So it will decrease your cash also, and cash is your asset. So the item, the transaction may be here payment to creditors or payment of any bank loan. Okay. Next point, increase in assets and capital. C point. What is C point here? Increase in assets and capital. This is very simple. I think this can click in your mind also immediately, that whenever we are going to start any business, so in the starting of business we invest cash in the business. Okay, so that cash is always increasing your asset because cash is your asset, and on the another hand, whatever you are investing in the starting of business, that is your capital. So already it will increase your capital. So the simple cash or started business with cash. Started business with cash. Not only with cash, with stock, with machinery, with furniture, these all are your asset. So whatever you are investing in the starting of the business, that will increase your asset and that will increase your capital also. Okay. Next point, decrease in assets and capital. Decrease in assets and capital means just opposite of this. Decrease. The simple mean that if you are investing anything in the business, so that will increase your assets and capital. On the opposite of this, if you will withdraw anything from the business, so that will decrease your assets also and capital also. So the example can be here, expenses paid. As we studied in that format of accounting equation, that if you are paying any expenses, so that will decrease your cash and capital. Okay, so in the same way, drawings, if proprietor has done any drawing from the business, so that drawing will decrease your assets also and capital also. How it will decrease assets? The drawing may be in the form of cash also, or in the form of any stock, any furniture, any machinery, whatever. Okay, so whatever drawing is there in the business, that will decrease your assets and capital also. So this was your question number 14. Just it was simple question that you have to give the name of transactions that will increase or decrease your assets, liability, capital, whatever. Okay, let's see the next question number 16. I hope you all are solving questions at home, and you may find very interesting chapter, I think so. So let's see question number 16. What is there in this? On which side the decrease in the following accounts will be recorded? Also mention the nature of account. What is there? That whatever items are there in this question, you have to show their decrease. That where will you show? Where will you means debit or credit? Decrease of items will be shown in debit or credit. Just you have to classify in these 2 points. Okay, and nature of accounts, nature means like assets, liability. Whatever is there, assets, liability, expenses, income, capital. These will be the 5 points of nature. Okay. So let's see the first point. First is cash. I think you everybody know about it, that cash is your asset. And which asset? It is current assets, but we don't have to mention this, just we have to write here only assets. The second point we have to tell that decrease in cash. Decrease in cash will be debit or credit. So how will you identify this point? Cash is your asset. Assets will always be debit, but if there is decrease in any item, so it will be opposite, means credit. Assets will always be debit, but when your assets are increasing, in that case it will be debit. But on the opposite of this, if your assets are decreasing, so in this condition it will be credit. Okay. Let's see the second point. Bank overdraft. Bank overdraft. Bank overdraft is your liability. Bank overdraft is your liability. This is the simple point. Now debit or credit. So simple mean that liabilities are always credit. Okay, but if it is decreasing, it will be debit. In this question, just you have to do opposite of all the transaction, because these all are decreasing. So all the debits will be credited and all the credits will be debited. Next point, rent paid. Rent paid. So what is there? Rent paid. Rent paid is your expense. Rent paid will be expenses, and expenses will always be debit. Okay, but here will be credit. Okay, let's see the next one. Fourth point, outstanding rent. Fourth point you have, that is outstanding rent. Outstanding rent means rent is a kind of expense for the business and it is outstanding. It means you will pay in the future. It means that is the liability for business. This is liability and liabilities are always credit, but here will be debited. Okay. Next point, prepaid insurance. Prepaid insurance. What is the meaning of prepaid insurance? I think easily the name is denoting here that what is the name of prepaid, that it is paid in advance. Like that is your mobile recharge also, prepaid or postpaid. First of all, we have to pay for the recharge and then we will take the services. So in the same way, insurance is prepaid means paid in advance. So it is your asset. If you are paying any expenses in advance, so that will be your assets. Assets are always debited, but here it will be credit because this is decreasing. The last point, Manoj, proprietor of the business. Manoj, he is proprietor of the business. So what is the meaning of this point, proprietor of the business? It means it will be capital because whatever the amount is investing by the proprietor, that is termed as capital. Capital is always credited, but here it will be debit. So it was your question number 16. Question number 15 is just opposite to this question. In that question, all the assets, all the liabilities, expenses, incomes are increasing on the place of decreasing. So whatever is increasing, it will be just in a correct way. Means like assets will be debited, liabilities will be credited, expenses will be debited, incomes will be credited. This will be the way in the case of increasing. Okay. So it was your question number 16. You may get confused in these points. Try to clear these two terms. These are new for you, outstanding or prepaid. What is the meaning of outstanding and prepaid? These are just opposite to each other. Outstanding, that we have taken services, but we did not pay the amount. We will pay the amount in future. So that will be your outstanding. But prepaid is just opposite, that still we did not take the services but we have to pay in advance. So that will be your prepaid insurance. Okay. So this was question number 16. Question number 15 easily you can do by yourself. Next we will start question number 17. That is a little different or that may be a little typical also, but don't worry, we will clear it very easily. Okay. Yes, so this is your question number 17. What is there in 17th question? From the following transactions, state the nature of accounts and state the accounts which will be debited and credited. I have made a format here. Serial number, transactions, accounts involved. Accounts involved means, as I told you, that by the transaction which two accounts are affected, that we will write here. Nature of account, assets, expenses, incomes, liability, capital, whatever is there, we will write here. Effect on account, that is increased or decreased. Debit and credit, that will be amount. Okay. So let's start with the first point. Ganesh started business with cash. Point number 1 is here. Ganesh started business with cash. Rupees 2 lakh. Ganesh, it is the proprietor of the business. So 2 lakh rupees. So what are the accounts involved? You know that whenever we are starting business, we are investing anything in the business. So first account, that will be affected, capital account. And second, what you are investing, cash or any asset. Other asset like, so here cash. So your two accounts that will be involved here, cash account and capital account. Nature of account, cash. Cash is your assets and capital is already capital, it is the different head. Assets and capital, okay. You are starting business with cash, it means your cash will also increase and capital will also increase. So effect will be increase, increase. And debit and credit, just write the amount, 2 lakh rupees debit, 2 lakh rupees credit. Okay, let's see the second transaction. Second one है purchased goods for cash, rupees 60,000. Purchased goods for cash, rupees 60,000. You are purchasing goods, so the first account will be affected, that will be purchase account. Just I am drawing a line, so you will not get confused. Yes, so purchased goods for cash. So first account that will be affected, purchase account, and second cash account, because you are paying cash. So second will be affected, that is cash account. Purchase is your expense and cash is your asset. Okay, you are purchasing, I am getting that you are purchasing goods. Purchasing goods means goods will increase. Goods will increase and your expenses will also increase. But for the goods you are paying cash, it means it will decrease. Your cash will decrease here. Amount 60,000. This is the second transaction. Transaction number third. Sold goods for cash, rupees 75,000. Sold goods for cash, rupees 75,000. So what are the two accounts affected in this case? This is the first account, cash account, and second one, that is sales. If you are purchasing any goods, if you are selling any goods, so in that condition, purchase account and sales account will be affected. Not stock account, not any goods account, not any all. Just purchase account and sales account. Cash account, it is your asset, and sales, this is your income. You are selling goods on cash, it means you will receive cash, so your cash will increase. Okay. And sales is your income, so income is also increasing. Amount, that is 75,000. Transaction number fourth. Fourth transaction, purchased goods from Nakul on credit. Purchased goods from Nakul on credit, rupees 80,000. So what are the two accounts? Goods purchasing, it means purchase account. This is the first point. And here you are purchasing on credit, not on cash. It means Nakul's account. This is your creditor. Okay. Nature of account, purchase is expense. And Nakul is creditor, it means liability. Expense, purchased goods from Nakul on credit, it means your expense is increasing. And liability is also increasing. Liability increasing because you will pay in the future. So amount is here 80,000, 80,000. Next point. Fifth, sold goods to Bhushan on credit for 50,000. Sold goods to Bhushan on credit, rupees 50,000. You are selling goods, so the first account that will be affected, sales account, and Bhushan is your debtor. As I told you, the debtor and creditor will come into effect when your transaction will be on credit basis. So here also you are selling goods on credit, so debtor account will be in effect, that is Bhushan's account. Bhushan is your debtor, means assets, and sales is your income. Okay, you are selling goods, it means assets increasing. How it is increasing? Debtors are increasing, because in future you will receive from debtors. Income is also increasing. Increase. Okay, amount is 50,000. Next, paid cash to Nakul. Paid cash to Nakul rupees 20,000. Just see here, you purchased goods from Nakul that was of rupees 80,000, but out of 80 just you are paying only 20,000. So what will be the two account affected here? Paid cash, it means cash account, but first not cash account, first will be debtor account, because cash you will pay. Paid cash to Nakul, so first account will be affected, that will be Nakul's account, and second account cash account. Nakul was your creditor, means liability. Cash is asset. Liability is decreasing, because you are paying to Nakul, it means Nakul's liability has decreased by 20,000. Now he is a creditor of only 60,000. Assets are also decreasing, because you are paying cash, it means business has reduced 20,000 rupees assets. So amount is 20,000, 20,000. Let's see the next point. Received cash from Bhushan. Bhushan, who was Bhushan? He was your debtor. Received cash from Bhushan rupees 10,000. Received cash from Bhushan, so first account that will be effect cash account, second account that is Bhushan's account. Cash account is your asset, and Bhushan, he was your debtor, so that is also assets. You are receiving cash, it means cash will increase, but debtor will decrease. Okay, amount 10,000, 10,000. After this, last transaction, that is paid salary, rupees 20,000. Salary is your expense, so first account that will be affected salary account, and second account that will be cash account, because you are paying in the form of cash. So salary is your expense and cash will be your assets. Expenses are increasing and cash is decreasing. Amount is 20,000, 20,000. So this was your question number 17. What you have to do in this question, just these are some transactions. You have to show that which two accounts will be involved in each transactions and what is the nature of these transactions. I think now you everybody understood that what are the natures or what is the meaning of nature of accounts, that which are your assets, which are your expenses, which are your income, liability or capital. These are the 5 terms. Only in nature of accounts these will be the 5 terms. Okay. Effect on account means it will increase or decrease. Debit and credit, these are the amounts. Okay, it was your question number 17. So that's all for today. Rest of the questions we will solve in the next video, and in the next video we will just end the chapter. Okay, I hope you all are understanding. I hope you all are studying at home. If you have any problem, then try to consult with me. Thank you so much.